Hello and welcome to NVC, IGN's Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Casey DeFreitas, and today I'm here with Miranda Sanchez.
Hello, I'm back.
Zach Ryan.
Hello, I'm back.
And Pear.
What you up, Blinky?
Pear Snyder. Hello. It's Wednesday. We're coming to you a day early because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so we figured we'd give you an early Thanksgiving present, even though that's not a real thing. But we're going to be talking about Black Friday deals.
I'm not up on your American
What about,
customs. What kind of gift do I need to give?
Thanksgiving treat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a treat.
Traditional Thanksgiving gift pair is usually kicking down like a nice bonus to all of your employees.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is
So
the
that is
Okay.
that's a traditional American Thanksgiving.
The microphone is cutting out.
So you just let us know when to expect that, and we'll look out for that. Thank you.
Pear, you weren't here last week.
I was not.
And we talked about it was the Amiibo episode.
I'm so
I'm
jealous.
really sad. Salad. I'm already thinking about Thanksgiving dinner, guys.
Ready for food, y'all.
You're thinking about Thanksgiving dinner, and your go-to is salad. Well, never mind. We had this whole conversation about yams the last time we got into this. So
Turnips.
Oh, the turnip thing was so weird.
Yeah, thank you.
Like when anybody asks, like, what do you want to eat? Like, nobody has ever said turnip except for
Casey was
Lisa
like, ooh,
Simpson.
turnips.
Oh,
I like mashed turnips. I don't know. It was
that
just
is a little
thing.
weird.
Yeah, thank you.
It was my
Yeah.
dad's favorite
Like
too.
a
Blame
Florida
him.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a Florida thing?
Definitely.
Must be.
It's not a Florida thing.
I've never met anybody from Florida that's not like so super weird. So yeah,
Like, there's
that's
just like
fair.
one thing. There's gotta be something. For you, it's turnip.
No offense to all the Florida men and women
I
out there.
totally meant offense to all
Okay,
Florida
totally
women.
meant
Y'all
offense.
are weird. Like
Sorry.
that's fine.
I was very jealous of the Amiibo discussion. I brought my latest 3 editions here. I am not addicted. I can stop anytime. I don't know how many I have. It's a lot.
But no,
You have all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you
No,
have
it's-
every one.
It's easy for you to keep up now. It's just like a couple every few
it's actually
months.
pretty relaxing now, and it's fairly easy to pre-order them now because it's not this mad rush anymore because nobody cares anymore.
You just have to be
except
on
for
the
me.
pre-order.
But they're so good. I mean, look at Simon. The whole way they designed the whip is really cool. Incineroar still has like a poop stand and
A weird
It's in
stand.
his
Yeah.
lower back.
It's
Yeah,
it's
it's
weird
not
that
bad,
there's
though.
not. It's weird that there's not a better way to do this than the stand. Like what purpose does that serve? I mean, he's got these like little baby legs, I guess. But why wouldn't they just like reinforce whatever he's? Because like you can see that he's glued down.
they give it to kids and they test it and
Here, let me.
no, stop it.
I'm really
Zach just tried
surprised
to
that
tear Incineroar off the base.
like the stand itself is so thick. Like I have a lot of other things that, granted, they do fall out easier if you like shake them or something.
Sure.
But that's like pretty big.
Yeah, and I do like
really
the
nice,
fact
though.
I do like the fact that Amiibo are so like sturdy. You know, like I don't have a ton of Amiibo. I have I have all the Link Amiibos, but I think it's nice because there are things that I have on my desk that I hate when stuff falls over because they'll just like break into a bunch of pieces. Like you can put it back together, but it's like you'll lose like a little gun or a little something. You know, and it's like you don't have to worry about that with those guys.
Anyway, I'll keep on getting them as they're released, and obviously the schedule has slowed down. Like we didn't get a Luigi's Mansion Luigi or anything like that. So I think they're dialing back. So that's fine.
It was nice to take a little trip down memory lane though, and
right,
hear
yeah.
you and Jose and
Oh
Brian
my
rant
God.
about
Like
it.
Brian's whole story was insane. I remember that, how upset he was over this stuff. He was so nervous. And I was shocked that he goes like, yeah, now I'm going to donate them. I'm like, no, don't do that. Hoard them. Don't let kids play with them.
No.
I think it's nice.
I was slightly terrified when Brian's like, yeah, I'm going to let my daughter play with my toys. I was like, she will destroy them.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have teeth yet, maybe. Soon.
But hey, guys, Black Friday is this week, and it's kind of already started. And there are, surprisingly, a couple of pretty decent Nintendo deals.
Yeah, I feel like we always talk about how Nintendo games, first party games especially, don't really go on sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some good Black Friday stuff out there for people that haven't like fully committed to the Nintendo Switch cult.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good time to start. Yeah. If you're picking up your system, and you guys issued a nice warning about don't pick up the wrong system, pick up the one with the extended battery life, red package. But there's some really good prices for some of the best games on the market. Honestly, I mean, some of the best games of all time.
And some good bundles with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Spyro isn't usually heralded as one of the best Switch games.
No,
but it's
I
still
wasn't
a
talking
good
about that
game.
one, but
No, but hey, you can get.
I mean,
you can get-
Spyro is still pretty great.
Yeah, it's still a pretty good game, especially when you're getting it for free, which you can do at Walmart for $2.99. You get the new Switch with Spyro.
that's the reason to get it.
Yeah, the other bundle that comes with Mario Kart 8, not Mario Kart 8, but Mario Kart Deluxe.
That's 8.
It is 8.
Yeah.
Why?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, yeah.
Words. But,
I think this is weird that that's Nintendo's deal again this year, because that was the deal last year, and it's the same exact one. It's the same old model. Yeah,
Well,
it's like
2 reasons. They still have old models. They need to move them.
Right.
And then that is just the power game.
You're always so logical.
People buy that game.
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Mario Kart is just a monster hit.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But this package is available now, as well as some small discounts for Switch games, like $49 for Link's Awakening. And today, it should be available now if you're watching this right now. You can get Joy-Con on Amazon for $59.99.
Joy-Con?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you need new Joy-Con, I think I do.
You can upgrade your gray ones.
Did you get the orange one?
I had an Amazon fluke, and they sent me 2 of the same package. So I had ordered Joy-Con. So they sent me extra Joy-Con.
Okay.
And I didn't have to pay for it. And I was like, why did you do this? They're like, don't worry about it. It's like,
Wow, that's cool.
That's wonderful.
yeah, so I have an extra backup pair of Joy-Con.
That's great. Yeah, that's really cool.
Extreme Joy-Con.
Yes.
I was thinking of getting backup. I know this isn't Nintendo, but a backup PS4 controller, because I go through those things
I have
very
that.
fast.
Yeah, I have that.
Like
There's
every
some
6
nice ones
months.
too. But orange and purple is there. It's an awesome set of Joy-Con if you don't
Yeah,
know
I'm
that.
really excited to get the colored ones.
It's a Halloween edition.
Boring gray ones. Fine.
I know.
they're boring.
I super regretted my decision as soon as I got my Switch in with the gray Joy-Con. I wish I had the colored ones.
There you go.
I'm very sad.
Tell Brian.
But the better deals are actually starting tonight if you're watching this on Wednesday. But if you're watching it sometime after Wednesday, it should be available now. But 10 p.m.
now-ish.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Now-ish.
Here's a really cool thing. So Justin Davis, who's I think has been on the show before, but is on GameScoop every week. He heads up our deals team at IGN. So while we all sit at home eating turkey, unfortunately, that entire team is going to work and is going to update IGN with the latest deals. So if you're looking for a great Nintendo deal, just hit our homepage. There'll be the most up-to-date article. They constantly refresh. They mark what's out of stock, what popped up. There's sometimes surprises that happen. So throughout the week, go to IGN. If you buy something through IGN, we get a cut of the moolah. So thank you very much for that too.
And we pulled all of these deals from that article. It's already live, and there's a ton of stuff on there. So if you want to see the actual full list of everything, because obviously we're not going to do that on the show, you can go to that article. You can find it really easily by just typing IGN Nintendo Black Friday. It should be the first thing that comes up.
Because we are SEO optimized. Thank you very much.
Actually, I think even if you don't put an IGN, it'll still come up first.
But there are a lot of BS Black Friday sites out there, and our team actually they will tell you when something is not a great deal, and they'll also tell you beware, this has the old battery and all that stuff. So anyway,
Yeah, they're looking out for everybody.
Yeah.
They know what
Give me
we're
back my
shopping
amiibo.
for.
Yeah,
They're
and
also, like, again, like you've said, they're very diligent about taking out old deals that are done or sold out.
yeah,
They
and
will strike them through if they're not available anymore.
Seth Macy, who's Justin's right-hand man on commerce, who has also been on this show, is like a major Nintendo fan and has like a very near and dear to his heart passion of like specifically highlighting Nintendo stuff and like updating those Nintendo articles and stuff. Yeah, good resource.
So available tonight, starting at 7 p.m. Pacific on Walmart and sometimes Amazon as well. There's Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Diablo 3, all for under $30. There's also a bunch of Lego games for $15, Mario and Rabbids for $20, and a lot more as well. And starting on Thanksgiving, Target will have $30 Switch games as well.
So those are box copies, so you can lend them to friends and sell them and all of that. But Mario plus Rabbids for $20 is a steal. It is a great game. I know there's still people who haven't bought it. It's really, really good. And then Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. If you don't have those games, I don't think you're actually listening to this podcast. I think you're in the back seat and somebody's making you listen to the podcast. So we apologize for that, but you should get a Switch and buy those too. And Diablo 3 is great.
Yes, and there are also a ton of really good 3DS games for sale. So I mean, so just
playing
if you're interested, like they're
remember
gonna
that.
have Ocarina of Time for I think like $15. So
$30 for Breath of the Wild might be the most bang for your buck ever in video games. Yeah.
it's really
I was
good.
having this conversation the other day. I think the more I think about it and the more I like, the further I get away from Breath of the Wild, the more I'm like, I think that might be my new like favorite game.
That's my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I very much am firm on like Ocarina of Time was such an impactful game for me as a kid, and like that's always stuck with me as my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah.
Like even through like a lot of other games that I think are maybe better games, but it just resonates with me more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I get away from Breath of the Wild, I'm just like, but what about Breath of the Wild?
Yeah. It's the first game that I've played as an adult. Like, I when I was a kid, I'd play games over and over and over again. But like, it's the first game I've played in my adult life that I've played. I think I've played it all the way through 5 or 6 times now. Like, I just keep going back to it. And
you get additional perspective when you play newer games. Like I'm playing Death Stranding, for example. It's an open world game, but there are all these kind of limitations to how you explore the world. You know, playing Outer Worlds, obviously, really good game, and you have to progress through the story to get to a new planet. I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey is probably the closest to Breath of the Wild when it comes to this exploration and openness. But even there are gates where you'll find a dungeon and you can't get in because you don't know how to align mirrors yet or something. Whereas like Breath of the Wild, like when you go back, you're like, the thing is open.
Yeah.
The entire thing is open. It's so cool.
So that's actually one of the things that I like about the Outer Wilds, which is not on Switch, unfortunately.
Not Outer Worlds, but Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds, yeah. It's very much that same concept of here is this open space that you can explore in any way you want to.
Yeah.
And that's just such a freeing and exciting thing for a game. And obviously
so
Breath
cool.
of the Wild nails it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
$30.
Sorry for the
deal.
tangent, but $30 you need to pay.
I definitely need to go back and play it on my own time because when I first played Breath of the Wild, it was 4 wikis. So I was basically trying to just do shrines.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I didn't play the way I normally would have. So I can't really.
That's like being kidnapped by Chris Evans. Like there's some good in it, but you don't want to be kidnapped. And it's like wiki writing, I feel like, is like that.
A wonderful metaphor.
That is. That's like such a good way to put it. Because like obviously working on the guide for like Breath of the Wild is awesome. Like you just get to focus on that. But at the same time, you're writing the guide for it. So like you're very directed on what you have to do.
You can never just explore. You go, I got to go right quickly to check if there's a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
The only guides that I've ever written for IGN were for Breath of the Wild shrines.
And I remember those when you had your busted knee.
Yeah, I was laid up for 2 weeks with knee surgery, and I had all I could do was lay in bed and play Breath of the Wild, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll write these guides. So I think I wrote like 10 shrine guides. Yeah.
Nice.
And
I did a bunch
super
too.
appreciated, both of you. Thank you. So
boys.
also starting on Thanksgiving, the Pokeball Plus will be on sale on Amazon, Best Buy, and Target for $19.99, which is 60% off. It's a huge steal. And I know some of you might be wondering, like, why would I care about this? I've already played Let's Go. But this is also how you get Mew in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That's pretty wild that's the integration. Like, I didn't know that was the case. That's crazy.
You
So
also still take your Pokemon out on walks.
yep, you can do that as well. So you can still take
You can
your
take
Pokemon.
Sword and Shield Pokemon out on walks?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
And
No,
get
you don't
Mew.
have to worry about it because you proclaimed on this very show that you will not play this game. So
We'll
we're
talk
all
about
good.
it.
We
We'll
don't
talk
have to
about it
worry
later.
about that.
Speaking of that,
We'll talk about it later.
anyway. So Nintendo's holiday eShop sale began today as well, which is Wednesday if you're listening to it the day of launch. So lots of Nintendo first-party titles are on sale for $41.99. Towerfall and Celeste are both 50% off for $9.99. Towerfall is an awesome party game. So if you're going to be hanging out with a lot of people today, Towerfall is a great pickup for that. There's also some third-party highlights like Dark Souls Remastered, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Wolfenstein 2, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Did you hear
and
that
more.
voice go up?
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I'm like in Dark Souls because I played it already, obviously, but I want to play it again.
It's
Okay.
Having Dark Souls on the Switch is great because you can play it anywhere, but it's also a very risky venture because you might snap your Switch in two or throw it across the room.
But here comes, I feel like the most important sale is still coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Slay the Spire is $5 off. So if you haven't gotten that one yet and want to check it out, here's a great time to do it.
Miranda,
Me.
Casey has never not mentioned Slay the Spire on this show.
I don't know.
Even
I don't
before it
know.
was invented.
Dang.
She talked about
I believe it.
Yeah.
But this sale ends on December 4th, so you have some time.
That's a while,
to
yeah.
kind of choose and decide what
That's
you want
great.
to get. I know Just Dance 2020 also has a small sale as well.
I really wish they would do that voucher again because I loved it. The $100 voucher where you get for 2 games.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
It was a good deal.
Yeah, it's a very good deal.
Maybe.
So again, if you want the full list of all of these deals, you can search it on IGN.com. But now that we've reached the end of the most notable deals, what do you all think is missing? Like, what do you want? What would you have wanted to see? And
Sorry,
what are
I
you
said
going
that.
to be picking up?
The voucher.
Yeah.
I think
The
that was
voucher.
like such a great thing for me because I get to Nintendo games a little bit later sometimes. And I also like just love them for travel, and I travel a lot in the summer. So that's like when I just like went hard on like Fire Emblem. And that's what I got the voucher for, was for Fire Emblem. And then I was going to get it for Luigi's, then I just got it for Pokemon so I could start playing. And I didn't realize how easy that was. Just like, okay, I am guaranteed to get 2 Switch games, and like they're just a little bit cheaper, and like that's just nice, right? And the deals are great, but I'm not gonna wait like years to play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Or like whatever next hit game comes out. So something like that for people like me who want to get things immediately is just like an awesome deal that I would immediately buy into.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want any other deals because I already have everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like the
Wow,
Switch,
what a
like no,
flex.
but there's not a high profile Switch game that I don't have that I want. But I think it'd be great if they did some sort of deal to encourage people. People inevitably buy 2 Pokemon games, Sword and Shield, to do a deal where like if you buy one, you get the second one as a digital copy half off or something.
That'd
Would be
be
really
fun.
cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to see like bundles. Like, give me like a $50 like indie greatest hits bundle where
That'd
it's
be awesome.
like 4 or 5 like great
Spire.
indie games. Yeah, that are like maybe something that I've missed or like kind of a grab bag thing where you can like choose from this list of games for $50 and you get however many. I'd also like to I'd like for Nintendo to sell the coins that you get when you buy games. Like,
Oh.
yeah. Because
like
you get
mobile
points.
boost.
You get
Yeah.
point. Yeah, it'd be like a mobile boost that like results in a discount, right? Like, for $20 you get 3,000 coins or whatever,
Yeah,
and
you
you
can
can
use them
apply
on
those to
wallpapers.
discounts. No, I mean I use them on games. Like
I get it.
I know. Well, we'll talk about it in a bit, but I recently bought a high profile game and I didn't realize like how many coins I had. And that game is a full price game, and I only paid $25 for it.
That's
So
great.
it was like, oh yeah, this is. I always forget about the coins,
Pays off.
and it's like, yeah, it really does.
So
And that prevents people from like selling a code too,
Yeah.
or something, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it's like an actual reward for the person who buys it.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats. You should work for Nintendo. Not unprecedented for
I was gonna
NVC.
say maybe someday I will. Yeah,
I-
but I'll only go there for 4 months and then
That's
I'll
right.
come back.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that again.
Yeah, you're
We can
gonna
all use a
Zach
break
it.
from Zach sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But I want a better Astral Chain deal.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play it. It's on sale for $50, but that's not quite. I'm looking for more around like the $30 price range. Not like saying that Astral Chain isn't worth full price. I just don't want to buy full price games with so much on my backlog already.
Yeah.
You want the bar lowered.
Yes, I would like the bar lowered for entry to be able to try this game because I know a lot of people have been talking about it. I know a lot of you in the NVC podcast forums have been asking like why we're not talking about it, and it's because I don't think a lot of us have played it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to play Astral Chain.
Cool.
Do it.
So that's about it for Black Friday. It's almost the end of the year.
Yes.
As you can tell by the Christmas music playing in stores everywhere, even though Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet. So everyone, what is your Nintendo Game of the Year so far? And I can start this off by listing some of the games that have scored very high on our website, if you'd like me to.
Please.
Sure.
Cool. So we got Fire Emblem 3 Heroes, Super Mario Maker,
Three houses.
3 Houses. Oh my gosh.
Don't
I
come
did it.
after us.
I'm sorry. I said
It's the
She's
day before
clearly never played
Thanksgiving.
it.
We have
I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
I
3 horses.
3 horses. Fire Emblem 3 horses. I would absolutely play that. Super Mario Maker 2, Pokemon
Yeah.
Sword and Shield, Slay the Spire, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Cadence of Hyrule, Katana Zero, SteamWorld Quest, My Friend Pedro, Wargroove, Astral Chain, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Dragon Quest 11. That's that's a pretty good list. That's not even all the lists, the entire list of every game that's gotten more than an 8.5.
Yeah.
It's just what I thought we might want to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
So
I feel
far.
like you're right on the money there.
And also, we wanted to ask you, Zach, what do you feel about Fire Emblem 3 Houses not getting onto Game of the Year?
Such a
Game
snub.
Awards?
This is, to be clear, this is about the game, the TGAs,
So-
Game of the Year Awards. Our nominations we haven't announced yet.
Yeah, our nominations are coming December 5th. The Game Awards announced their games, I believe, last week that were nominated. And I'm pretty shocked that Fire Emblem didn't get nominated for more stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't get nominated for... I think it should have got nominated for Game of the Year. I'm surprised that it didn't get nominated for Best RPG. I'm surprised that it didn't get nominated for Best Narrative or Best Performance. I'm like, it did get nominated for Best Strategy. Yeah.
So
Which,
maybe
like,
they put it in that
duh.
category only.
But
Yeah.
I was really, really surprised, like given how successfully that game was received and just like my personal experience with that game and how much I loved it and how much I saw other people really like hyping it up this year, I was very surprised that it didn't get more nominations from them.
And it's not a year, obviously this is for multi-platform awards, so not a Nintendo award.
Right.
In this case, it's not a year where there are like so many like heavy hitters like a God of War.
We were talking about this.
5. Like we have Resident Evil 2, which it's a remake, but it's obviously completely redone. So there are great games like that. Outer Worlds is there. Control is getting a lot of attention. But yeah, it is a little bit of a softer year. So I was hoping a game like Fire Emblem that is a little bit more under the radar from a genre perspective would break through.
Yeah, I think that I was talking to Brian about this yesterday actually, and like this year is a very 8.5 year.
I think
there's a lot of great games, but no real standout like masterpiece.
There's no
game,
10.
you know?
When you have that situation though, I think even harder for those kind of almost niche genre kinds of games to like shine at all.
Yeah.
Because everyone's pushing for like the Control, which is a little bit more, I guess, playable for people who don't want to do strategy games, right? And which is not to like shame Control. Like I'm really happy to see that getting a nomination just because that was one of the games I thought wasn't going to get really a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But I think everything else has to fight a little bit harder. Like even it's weird to say almost more so when there's like those standouts because everyone's focusing on those standouts, right? And so then these sort of other ones are fighting a different kind of fight.
Right. And I think this year is an interesting one too because like a lot of the games that were scored really highly, especially like on our end, are much more niche than previous years. Like I think the big standouts, the highest scores this year, it's like Fire Emblem is up there. Disco Elysium is, I think we gave that a 9.7. Slay the Spire we rated really highly. So yeah, it's an interesting year that way. But yeah, I mean for Fire Emblem not to get even a nod for Game of the Year is like kind of blasphemous.
If I could segue then, I mean, my pick for Game of the Year so far is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
great segue, by the way.
I still need to finish or at least progress far enough into Death Stranding to know how I feel about that game. I'm enjoying myself right now, but the repetition factor obviously is what most people call out. Need to finish Outer Worlds, play Resident Evil 2 and all that. But like, I just need to know a little bit more about the competitive field. From a Nintendo perspective, to me, there's nothing that's as good as Fire Emblem Three Houses this year. And I'm very much leaning towards that being my pick across all platforms too.
Wow.
Just love that game. Like I was so captivated with it. And it made me do stuff that, no offense, but it sounded like stuff you guys would like, and not like it, like all of the kind of BS relationship, tea drinking, all of that.
All that weeb stuff that's in there.
You guys talk about in the office.
Stuff.
I was like, oh, it's gonna annoy me, and then I played. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty.
But it's like when it's done well, it's fun.
It's so good.
It's like a great element to a game that you just don't see often. I think that's why there's a lot of like pushback to it because it's not always done appropriately.
Right.
But it built the characters. Like it was crucial to building the characters so that you'd care about them and not kill them in permanent.
And that's the thing. That's the thing for me that really hit home for Fire Emblem was like the characters were so well written and funny and had such distinct personalities. Like I have so many clips and screen grabs of character moments from that game that I just like I'll never delete because like they like looking at them is like, oh, that was a really funny moment. I really loved the writing for this or whatever. And so like the combat portion of it was great, and I'm not a tactics guy, but it really like introduced me to a new genre. But it was the relationship stuff and the dialogue options that really did it for me. And so like that's why best performance, like I feel like so many of those characters, Edelgard could be nominated, like Dimitri, like any of them, Claude, like any of those main characters. But there's a bunch of tertiary characters that could have gotten a nod as well. And
it was so ambitious in that it let you play 3 different quests, essentially, right? And the game adapted and told the story slightly differently. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Is that your pick too, or no?
Fire Emblem is my pick for Nintendo Game of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably my second overall for Game of the Year.
Resident
probably like
Evil
number 2. No, number 1 is Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but
we're getting that on Switch next year. Unfortunately, a little late.
But Three Houses is like a very, very close second.
Yeah.
And that it's a game that while I was playing it, completely consumed my headspace.
Same.
Like when I wasn't playing it, I was thinking about a moment or thinking about a battle or wondering like, okay, maybe I can get out of doing this thing that I planned for tonight so I can go home and play Fire Emblem. Like, you know, like I love it. It's by far and away my Nintendo game of the year. Yeah.
Awesome.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, besides Slay the Spire, was the game I played the most this year that I didn't work on for wikis.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot about how much I like a game. It's definitely up there for me, but it's kind of a hard toss-up between Fire Emblem Three Houses, Slay the Spire, and Pokemon. But I think Fire Emblem is kind of winning. I also need to finish it because I had to stop about 30 hours in to
there's
move on to
DLC
work
now.
on things. I know. There's so much more to do. And
I've been thinking about jumping back in over the break.
Oh, I'm totally going to
Pet
play.
those puppies.
Yeah.
Pet those
Cats.
puppies.
And cats.
They're all just like the little herd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, my toss-up right now is between Fire Emblem and Pokemon, but I think I'm definitely also leaning towards Fire Emblem. I did not expect to love the Golden Deer House, and I love them fiercely.
Yeah.
And I will protect them, except Lorenz. I killed him immediately.
Yeah, I hate him.
I let him die.
Yeah. Lawrence
I also
kind of
missed out
sucks.
on- I missed out on tea time for that.
Yeah, because you killed him immediately.
Yeah, I killed him immediately, and then I didn't get tea time.
Oh, that's such a bummer.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he teaches you how to do tea in that house. Yeah.
it's
Okay.
the price to pay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't, that's amazing.
I know. That's crazy. It punishes you that
You
hard.
should play it
Yeah.
again now because you
Oh,
need tea
absolutely.
time.
Like
yeah.
that is the plan. It's like okay, I have to put this down for now, but I have every intention of going back and playing through every house.
So for
Yeah.
both of you, is that the pick overall or pick for Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Nintendo specifically?
My overall is different.
Yeah. What are you leaning towards, or you don't want to say it?
I know what it is. Yeah.
Outer Wilds.
Yeah, it's Outer Wilds.
Yeah, Outer Wilds.
yeah.
is
Outer
my number
Wilds,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wilds, not Worlds. I haven't gotten to play Worlds yet. So like,
So
there's still
Worlds,
stuff that
Wilds.
I'm catching up on. I have to finish up Death Stranding, but those
Mm-hmm.
are for other games for other shows. But yeah, like Three Houses is like definitely one of my favorite games of the year.
Nice. What about you, Casey? Is it overall or Nintendo?
Overall, if you're not counting Monster Hunter World Iceborne, but
That's
it's
not a game.
Dude, it's
That's an
the Game
expansion.
Awards counted it as best RPG this year.
Okay.
So I don't even
That's
know.
really weird.
I
Yeah.
don't even know. It did
Yeah.
have enough content in it to be a full standalone game.
I mean,
Okay, then I'm voting for the motorcycle from Breath of the Wild.
I would say,
Was
yeah.
that this year?
No.
No,
Say, I thought that was
that was 2017.
I was cheating.
yeah.
It's kind of the same deal as like the oh god, Blood and Wine expansion from The Witcher, where it was like,
Right.
here's 40 more hours and
Yeah.
100 more side quests.
How do you-
So
how do
like,
you-
I
think there
totally
should be a
get that.
category for it.
But it is an expansion. It is
Yeah.
building on something
Yeah.
that already exists. So I do have not qualms with it, but I am kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
So
But otherwise, Fortnite is always a game of the year every year because it gets updated and changed. No, I mean, like,
Take
if
the
you
wheels- why do
love,
they take the wheels
if
off
you
of it?
love
It's not like-
Fortnite, but
it's not like a full
You have-
new story to follow.
Right.
No, it's not like 40 hours of story content. It's just like here's
Well, story doesn't necessarily.
Right.
Equate.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Having a story doesn't make it a game that doesn't a lesser game.
I think
Yeah.
that's where you just need to create categories and like
Yeah.
you can reward a game that's constantly updated or a great DLC pack.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be eligible. But so you cheated. You totally like threw us a curveball there.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Monster Hunter World Iceborne for best ongoing game,
Okay.
Sure.
and then probably Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh, overall,
I need
You
to
haven't finished
finish it.
You
I need to
haven't
finish
finished
it.
Okay.
You can't say
Yeah.
If we go by
I have feelings about the ending of that game.
okay,
But yeah.
I need to finish it because I actually just played super old game, but I just played Until Dawn and I really
Yeah.
liked it until
Yeah.
the very end,
Uh-huh.
and the ending just kind of killed it for me.
Oh,
Sure.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe that's something like that
Fire
happens
Emblem,
in Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, the activities inside the inside the walls of your castle deteriorate over time, depending on how you play
well,
it. If
yeah.
you're super active at first and you do everything, you're kind of running out of things towards the end. So that's my one piece of criticism is that there isn't something newly.
I also
new.
just think the actual ending of that game is bad. Like,
that's because you got the bad ending.
no, I mean, I got the good ending.
Did
it's
you not
just
marry
like,
who you wanted to?
no, I married Dorothea, and that's great. But no, that game just like no spoilers or anything. It just ends. Like
Didn't
you
wrap it up.
you fight the final fight is
Don't
so
say it.
gnarly and so intense and
Yeah.
like takes forever and like I died multiple times and then and then it's just like, well, you did it, and then that's it. Like it just ends. It's like
I feel like it
Okay.
ends like a National Lampoon.
it's just
movie a
like the
little bit
ending
with,
like
like, credits telling
for
you-
having a battle that took me multiple attempts at least 40 minutes each attempt or more, for the ending to be like literally 5 minutes long. It was like, all right. I mean, I guess that's fine. But as an experience as a whole, like, I think it's very,
I think
very
that's,
good.
that's more of where it shines. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah, I love it so
and
much.
I think that this year also for the Switch has been like such an amazing year for games. Fire Emblem is my pick, but I also wanted to shout out like Luigi's Mansion is very close second on Switch for me this year.
It's so good.
Dragon's Quest XI-S, obviously I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face on this show. But then also, we have a tendency to forget that Mario Maker 2 came out this year, which was awesome and still has like an incredible replay value. And then like personally, like I really loved Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Really?
Yeah, that game was so fun. It was just like, I can't tell you anything about the plot because I don't remember because it doesn't matter. But the actual playing of that game as like an arcadey, like button mash team up game is great. I really liked that game a lot.
Maybe I didn't have as much fun with it because no one would play with me.
I played it all solo. I just liked picking different Avengers and different Marvel characters. And
Thanksgiving, you can have people over and you can play Marvel.
Nah, it's
Ultimate
okay. My
Alliance.
plan is to beat everyone at Mario Party and think
That sounds good
there
too.
you go. That was a good game too. That I actually really like this version of Mario Party. There are a lot of good games for the Switch this year, and like
it doesn't matter.
it felt
good.
like there wasn't a single ginormous game, but that's kind of ignoring that Pokemon is actually a pretty
Like Pokemon and Fire Emblem were
humongous game.
massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have about 85 hours in Pokemon. I'm still trying to fill out my Pokedex, and I just battled, did some competitive style battling last night. It's a lot of fun.
Good. That's cool.
I really like the way that they made it not impossible to make competitive teams in that game. It's so much easier. And you can also rent teams now. Really easy. I know like there was some like rental stuff in Sun and Moon, but I'd never really experimented with it before.
Right.
But I don't know. It's really cool. You can just put in a code and then use a team. You don't even have to make your own.
Cool.
It's neat.
Right on.
So is there anything you guys think we need to play that we haven't to consider for Game of the Year?
For Game of the Year specifically, I think if you haven't played Dragon Quest XI-S yet,
I started.
That
I
is
haven't.
really good. I'm really early on still in Pokemon, and I'm really liking it, and I really love the world and some of the changes and how it's not as fussy as the old games. I think I like Dragon Quest just a little better, just because of the way the quest unfolds and like how it has more interesting systems to me. So I'd actually give that one the nod. So if you haven't played it and you love Pokemon, play this one. You're gonna
Dragon Quest is
totally
so
love it.
good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's-
And the Switch version is so well done.
There's something I just really like collecting monsters like that.
We've
side of
noticed
it.
that.
I know. But so Dragon Quest, there was a Dragon Quest Monsters game.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest Joker.
Yeah.
For the the DS, not the 3DS. But I loved that game. Maybe it was for the 3DS. Gosh, it's been a really long time.
Did you ever play Ni no Kuni, the first one?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
wonderful. I remember playing this. I was like, this is what a Pokemon
came
is.
out
Yeah, it's just
too.
like and that's on Switch
came
now
out
too,
on
but
Switch.
that's like a Pokemon Dragon Quest hybrid almost. Yeah.
And the story was amazing.
Yeah, the story's really good in that
really
game.
resonated with
Yeah.
me. I really love that game. It's also made me cry, so just be aware of that.
So I do think everybody should play Return of the Obra Dinn. I've brought this up before, and it's like I don't think it is quite by virtue of its being kind of a smaller game. I don't think it's gonna unseat any Game of the Year nominees for anyone, but it is really like it's a 9+ awesome game.
I need to go back to that.
So clever and so over the top and crazy. It's like a crime scene investigation that goes completely nuts.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very unique and kind of one of those
Yeah.
things that you should treat yourself and experience.
The art style is going to keep some people from playing it because they look at it and go like, oh, it's black and white or, whatever, green and brown
Yeah.
or whatever it is. But like it is pulled off so well and it looks so good. And the stuff that happens on the ship is so different from anything you've seen. You have to play it. Love it.
I have not had an opportunity to play. I've not touched Slay the Spire at all, and that's a game that
Love that game too.
Yeah, I've heard so much about. I've not played enough Astral Chain. I need to, like you were saying, I need to go back and play more Astral Chain, and I need to finish Obra Dinn as well. Yeah.
I think even if Astral Chain doesn't get up there for Game of the Year, it might be a contender for me for the action category, like a Devil May Cry, whatever category that we're putting that in this year.
It's like action. Yeah.
What about Damon X Hatfield? Damon X Machina.
Never went back to it
I
after
didn't
that bad
either.
demo. Yeah.
Really?
I know some people in our podcast forums were wishing that it was on a better discount for Black Friday as well.
Yeah.
But I guess that didn't happen.
Yeah, I had some like initial interest in that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Joe,
There's too
our
much.
reviewer, ended up liking it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, didn't we give it a 7? I don't know why I'm asking you.
Not Joe, the reviewer.
I forget what we ended up giving that game, but I feel like it was better.
6.5.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I remember seeing
Which
that.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed some stuff, like the presentation was cool and all that, but like ultimately it didn't captivate me.
Mm-hmm.
I need to play Slay the Spire as well,
Yeah.
and I really want to find time for Dragon Quest, but
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
it's
one of
so
those things,
long.
Like these games are long.
Yeah.
But it's great. If you're
I-
traveling, you're flying anywhere, it's perfect for that.
It's getting to be the time where we start thinking about our own like personal top 10 games of the year, and I really, really want to put Dragon Quest on my list, and I want to put it very high, but like you were talking about, like I have a hard time justifying that when I haven't finished a game.
Right.
Because like I do want to see it through to the end before I really make a judgment call on it. And Dragon Quest 11 is a game that I'll play like I played The Witcher, where like I play it really seriously for like weeks, and then I stop and go play through something else, and then come back to it a month later and pick it up. You know,
Yeah.
like,
The
so-
Witcher also came out on Switch. That's right.
That's true. Yeah.
It's a fantastic
Yeah,
game.
that's
Maybe
kind
not that version.
what I'm doing with Fire Emblem.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I did too.
Did you all play Luigi's Mansion a lot?
Haven't
or
I
played it yet.
haven't, and I'm so
Okay.
sad.
You guys
So-
should both,
I want
before
to
you play
so
any of these 100-hour epics, you should play Luigi's Mansion,
was-
because like,
the plan.
yeah,
I was just telling him like there's a stage that kind of sparked that memory, but it feels like a classic Rare game.
yeah, it feels like Banjo-Kazooie.
like Banjo-Kazooie quality in some of the levels. There's some obnoxious stuff, like there's some backtracking where you have to chase a creature or something, where it kind of you're like, all right, I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm talking about?
There's some
I think I
obnoxious
know what
stuff
it
in those
is.
old Rare games too, but yeah.
But overall, every level is so unique and
so good.
executed with such care, and then the amount of interactions is just staggering. The stuff you can do with a vacuum cleaner, everything can be sucked up, and like I don't think there's another game with that sort of level of interactivity with the levels. I can't think of one.
There's stuff hidden everywhere all over that game, which is like, I'm sure we've had Janet on the show to talk about it. I'm sure it makes for a miserable guide to write, but it's
Yeah.
so fun to play and explore.
I think she had a good time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing will be ever
it's
more
room
miserable
based.
than,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Nothing.
To the
can
extent
beat
that every time it comes up in a meeting, Miranda's like,
Let's not talk. I need to leave the room.
I think that
so bad.
Luigi's Mansion 3 is such a phenomenal game, and I've been playing it like one floor at a time, and like I'm this close to the end. I'm going to finish it over this Thanksgiving
So-
break, but damn, that is a great game.
Good looking.
I try
Yeah.
to find games like that where I can kind of juggle in between other things that
Yeah.
take a little bit longer. So I play a lot of Dota, which is like long, kind of queue times, and like there's a lot of downtime. So sometimes I'll just pick up Pokemon and like play that in between
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And that's kind of like the perfect way to do it. And then like when I'm waiting to get in a queue or something, or if I'm taking time off. So I think
Sure.
that's what I want to cycle in next.
Yeah.
Luigi.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because each floor will take you about an hour to finish, and like it
saves
great.
everywhere, so you don't have to worry about turning
Yeah.
it off. Like
Oh, that's nice.
You're not going to forget your abilities. Like it's simple in the setup. And then the animations are just so good. Like
Yeah,
you'll-
they're really good.
Even like more than a dozen hours in, you'll detect new animations you've never seen from the ghosts.
Yeah. I also just love Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
I love the
it's
first
great.
one so much.
Yeah.
That was one that I played with my twin sister. And
Yeah.
like we really bonded over it.
Oh, it's cute.
And so knowing this third one came out, I was like, Sarah, there's a new Luigi's Mansion. She's like freaked out.
Yeah.
And she's been playing it a bunch. And so I'm jealous and I need to catch up.
Does the co-op work? Do you know if the co-op works online, or does it have to be? Do you have to be local? I think you probably have to be local.
Well, there's
right?
there's the versus the big mode and the
No,
the
I'm
local.
talking
I
about the
haven't
good.
tried
I'm
it
talking about the
online.
good co-op.
Oh.
I haven't tried it. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm
that's
pretty
a good
sure
question.
we have a guide for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
We do have a guide for that.
Yeah.
Definitely look that up. Janet wrote it.
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's local.
So we just finished talking about our potential game of the years, games of the year.
Games of the
Yeah.
year.
And we're moving on to games out this week. And spoiler, none of them will probably be a contender. What are you doing? What
He's
happened?
knocking over.
I have to jump out for half a second. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it that big of a deal.
Okay.
Bye.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Zach. Zach is gone. But hey, there are games coming out this week, regardless if Zach is here or not, including Pine, which is coming out on November 26th. It's an open world action adventure sim.
Yeah.
This is a game I think we saw a trailer for back during GDC. I don't remember when I first saw the trailer for it, but I was definitely very interested in it when it first revealed. It's set in a world where humans aren't like the best sentient creatures, and you are going around and meeting different communities of different species, like moose people and alligator people, and like
Florida
you're just a
again.
human. Oh yeah, Florida. It's like it's fine. It hasn't gotten amazing reviews, but between it's done okay, good, or great depending on who's reviewing it. I'm interested, but
It's definitely where it sounds like I'd want to for sure read like several reviews before
buying it.
It's worth the time.
Five Nights at Freddy's is also coming out on November 29th for $7.99 each, and I mean all of the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 4. It's a really good horror game. So Perry's giving me a look.
No, it's like a party favorite. It's
You're
fun to watch other, and obviously it's highly streamed still to this day, right? Like it's something where you're having fun when you're embarrassing yourself with someone else in the room, you know?
Yeah.
I guess the last time I played it was Five Nights at Freddy's VR, and that was a very fun party game to play with a bunch of people and force the unfortunate soul who had to actually drive because like I wasn't doing it.
Yep.
So yeah. There's also Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, which is coming out on November 29th, and it's on sale for $15.99 right now. It's an adventure game about traveling, sharing stories, and surviving manifest destiny. It got kind of mixed reviews, but as far as I can tell, if you really like literature and deep storytelling, this is a good game for that. And then there's Trover Save the Universe out on November 28th from the co-creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland. It was originally a VR game, so I'm not really sure how this will work.
Yeah, so with this one, like you're supposed to be like sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
Like so to kind of put context for the actual VR part. So I also am kind of curious how it's going to play just like console, but I feel like it'll
Sorry, no Labo VR support for this one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That would give you a headache really quickly. I know the original game was well received. I've been meaning to catch up with it as well. I haven't played it, but Mr. Roiland has a wicked sense of humor. So I think it'll be fun. Hey, did you play Zach's coming back? Thank you for coming back, Zach. Trover Saves the Universe. Did you play the VR game?
No, but I'm really interested in playing it on Switch. Sorry, I had to pee so bad. I'm sorry. The situation was critical.
Wow, okay.
No, I haven't played Trover, but everybody that I know that's played it really, really likes it a lot.
Yeah.
And it looks really funny. Like I've heard that game is laugh out loud funny. So yeah.
And last we have Nyan Cat, Lost in Space.
So weird.
I know,
Yeah.
right? So it was originally on mobile. It came out in Steam in 2015. So why not on the Switch?
Sure.
It's a very well-rated platformer.
Why
game.
That's
not?
the cat meme with the little guy. Yeah, okay.
Why
Weird.
not on Switch is the motto of the Switch now in its third year.
Yeah.
It's the cat Pop-Tart looking cat with
Yes.
rainbows behind
Yeah.
it. If you
I played a lot of that on my iPhone, whatever, back in the day.
Do you remember
like
our
10
April
years
Fool's
ago.
video? Everything's
Coming to Switch. Yeah, that was this year.
It
Can you
is
believe this year has
literally-
been 28 months long?
No longer a joke.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So those are the games coming out this week. But what are you guys playing now?
Yeah, I'm finishing up Luigi's Mansion. And I might have purchased a game that I swore up and down that I wouldn't.
So
but
surprising.
Yeah. I know.
A man not of his word. What a big surprise.
I pulled a real Fire Emblem
Yeah.
on this one and bought Pokemon Sword.
What I loved about this one is
And
that
I had nothing to do with this.
And that's true. Well, okay, so
was it a spite buy?
it was a spite buy. Yeah, because the conversation around the game got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to give these developers my money because I think this game looks good and people love it and they have earned it because they've put up with a lot of
That's such
bullshit,
a weird
frankly.
reason to buy something.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's fine. And then I bought it, and then every time I turned on my Switch, I saw the icon there, and I was like, what's up with those pocket monsters? And so my plan was to wait until there was kind of a lull, and then maybe I'd check it out. But I started playing it. I played only a couple of hours. I, made friends with my good Grookey boy. I caught a weird bird. I met some other characters that are fun. And it's a game that I think is good, but is also like, that's a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. Like, I love the way that the opening hours especially are streamlined, and I'm excited that for that particular thing to be implemented in other video games. Like, I'd love to be given the option to skip entire tutorials because I've played a video game before. But I don't know that I'll really stick through it or stick with it. Like it's nice to have gotten in there and got a feel for it. Maybe I'll go back to it later, but there's other 2019 stuff that I want to finish first.
It's still a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
If you've never liked a Pokemon game, you probably still
It's just
won't
like a very
Pokemon
good
games.
one of those.
We get that question a lot too. People
Yeah.
are like, well, I like this one. I'm like, well, did you like other Pokemon games?
Yeah.
It's still Pokemon.
Yeah.
If the thing you hated the most about Pokemon was random encounters, like maybe this one will do it
Well,
for
that's
you,
actually,
but
I like that a lot
otherwise-
better because like once I caught the weird bird, every time I saw the weird bird out in the wild, I was like, I don't have to catch that weird bird. I already got this one.
I want to know what the weird
Yeah, you
bird
gotta
is
pound
now.
it.
He's the little guy, the blue guy with the black face.
Rickety.
Yeah, he's very cute. I like him a lot.
Okay.
I forget what I named him.
But so I couldn't get into Let's Go last year.
neither, yeah.
I wanted to, but I feel like I'm going to stick with this one and play more. It definitely takes me back. Like you guys know, I played Pokemon religiously in the early days when it was on the Game Boy, both color and advance, and then kind of like got more and more casual about my experience with it as my kids also got completely obsessed with it.
Sure.
Kind of like I'm like, all right, you do this thing. I'm really digging this so far. I don't know if my expectations were lowered. You really liked it, and I trust your opinion, so I was gonna play it anyway. But there was just so much negativity around it, and then I play it. I'm like, this is pretty. Mm-hmm. Like I'm playing it. It looks nice.
Yeah, I thought it looks. I think it looks very nice.
There are obviously limitations. I'm not that passionate about importing my ancient Pokemon, which I do have a lot sitting around. I wasn't
really
that passionate
tedious
about
to
it.
do that too.
But like there's some limitations where I'm like, yes. Today, like Pokemon Company and Game Freak should really get with it. Like the animations, like things just turn so like mechanically.
Well,
you know, like
even in
they're-
towns, characters pop in towns, and I've never seen a game with a character pop in. Like that's pretty wild.
But my expectations were that this is a Game Freak game, and just like if I play a Harvest Moon game, I don't expect like amazing motion capture, like in like
Photorealistic
a AAA,
cows.
like a God of War game or something. I was kind of
Weird.
expecting that, and so that I wasn't disappointed with that. But I also understand people who say like, hey, this is a $1 billion franchise that should really evolve a little bit more. But
Yeah, and whenever I hear that, I say like, yeah, like there's a lot of things
let's
that I
not do this
expected
again.
to be there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this really quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. I didn't
Yeah.
get to. I didn't get to talk about Pokemon.
That's fair.
Who do I talk to?
I didn't get to talk about it
Yeah,
yet
it's
either.
just like I think they would need to take several years off to like really regroup and like restructure things. Like
Yeah.
if they want the Breath of the Wild, the Pokemon, like that. Look how long Breath of the Wild took.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to just happen overnight
Sure.
or within like a normal dev cycle.
Yeah.
Like, they would need longer for that.
It'd be nice if they did that, though. I think
Yeah,
one
I do
option is
too.
if Nintendo
okay with
splits
that.
the series and brings in a different dev, right? And like, I think Luigi's Mansion is a perfect example of that working because that game is better than the original EAD made Luigi's Mansion, and it's from a second party developer.
The thing is, so Nintendo doesn't directly develop the Pokemon games. Game Freak
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
and Game Freak isn't nearly as big as Nintendo is at all.
I would put them like
But-
HAL. Like HAL is a
Yeah.
good studio,
Yes.
but they're not usually like the Mario team or the Zelda team.
What was that funny little UFO catcher game that Hal made a couple of
The
years
badge
ago?
thing,
Yeah.
badge center thing.
Yeah. I loved that, and that's like the first thing that. Yeah.
That came to mind.
Yes?
Yeah, well, because like
Interesting.
that's Hal not doing Kirby and not doing
Right.
Yeah.
Smash, you know,
Yeah.
like yeah. Sorry, I kind of went off the tangent
but like,
there, but
but I don't want to talk bad about this game. I really like it, and I think it is actually it surpassed my expectations in like what it looks like and what it feels like and how it respects the player. Like it did not pretend like the last years didn't happen. And like it wasn't long ago that game like Skyward Sword constantly explained what the nut was that you found yesterday already, right? Like we're at a point where I think the developers are getting more sophisticated across the board, and
it's
glad to see it with Pokemon too.
absolutely amazing to me that a game like Pokemon allows you to, in one dialogue option, to say like, hey, have you ever done this before? And if you say yes, they go, great, then we're just going to cut you loose. Like, that's amazing. Like, I want that in every single video game because like I don't need a camera tutorial. I've been playing 3D games for
that
20 years.
pushing in
Like,
the stick ducks.
yeah, it's like, yes.
And then if
okay,
you
like,
accidentally
yeah.
skip anything, you can just open up the
Totally.
the instructions in your menu.
Yeah. But I'm playing Pokemon. I'm playing Luigi's Mansion still. I'm playing Professor Layton, which, obviously we got this re-release. It's such a charming series. I'm more of a Phoenix Wright guy, and I loved it
Objection.
when they had their little overruled. They had this wonderful crossover, and so it kind of feels weird going back to pure Layton, which is a little bit more slower paced, and very very chatty. But I'm still digging it. I like it. If you like hidden object games, definitely play this. And then Children of Morta, you guys talked a little bit about last week.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like a Zelda RPG. It's like, it has action. You obviously hit things in real time, but like it has this really cool, twisted and colorful world. I'm really enjoying it so far. So it came out at a time when there's just a lot of big stuff out. But it's a really cool action adventure / RPG game that I think people will dig.
Yeah. Sweet.
I'm also playing Pokemon. Surprise! And I'm planning on picking up Luigi's Mansion soon because I'm going to go see my twin sister next weekend.
Cool.
So.
Is she also super into games like you, or are you?
She's like
differing
very
on that?
specific games. Like she loves Professor Layton. She loves Luigi's Mansion. She likes very specific RPGs. Like she likes what's it called, Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
But she also likes Persona.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of overlap there.
yeah. So she likes like JRPGs, but she doesn't like first person shooters and stuff like that. So like me and all of my siblings regularly play Stardew Valley together. Like since that came to Switch, that's like been the best thing. So
Yeah.
Starman farm game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Casey.
I've still
Monster
been playing
Hunter.
Pokemon. I don't know. I'm going to play Monster Hunter next week because on December 5th there's a new update with Stiggy and Zinogre, and I know.
With what?
And a brand new black
Hold on.
dragon.
What?
Stickies and ogres.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Stiggy and Zinogre.
I wish
Like,
I had time
of
to get back
sticks.
into
Stickies
Monster
and
Hunter.
ogres.
It's so fun.
It's so good. But anyway, that's not out on the Nintendo Switch. But
Siggies and yogurt.
There was like that SNL skit where they make fun of NPR. Good times.
Yeah.
That was fun.
but yeah, I'm just playing Pokemon.
Good.
That's
Great.
it?
Yeah.
That's it. And Ring Fit. I'm still playing Ring Fit Adventure.
So I
Because,
feel really guilty.
I just
was
bought the
thinking
Ring
of
Fit.
you.
Yeah.
Have you tried it yet?
No, not yet, but I bought it a couple days ago. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what you think about it.
Yeah.
I really like
It'd
it.
probably be no big deal for me because I'm like real strong already.
That's right.
So
That's right.
You know, I thought the same thing, and then
I'm gonna play it again. I've been a bad boy. I've traveled so much, and I didn't want to bring a giant freaking hoop
no.
with me on
That's real
trips.
weird.
So
Yeah.
I kind of got out of the routine. I used to do it every day, and then now you made me feel bad because you had like
Sorry.
17 out of 31 days you did it or something. Okay, well,
nice.
yeah, on average 3 days a week, sometimes 4,
Okay.
but also because my gym that I usually go to is just closed for no
Yeah.
reason all the time.
Okay. What?
So like,
No.
yeah,
That's
like I'll just go to the gym and it
my
just
gym has been
won't be
closed all my
open.
life.
so like,
I don't know why.
So I generally I'll go to the gym, and then it'll be closed, and then I'll go home and play Ring Fit.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean that's honestly like that's the reason why I picked it up is because sometimes there are like everybody knows there are days where you just wake up and you're like, not today. I'm not
Yep.
gonna do that today.
Yeah.
And I go to a university gym that closes at 6.
Yep.
So it's like
Jeez.
if I don't, like if I don't go before work, then I'd like it's nice to have like a Ring Fit alternative where I can just like okay, well today I'll just do like squats and crunches or whatever. Like yeah. So.
definitely
Do
look
it.
at
You know
I
what I'm
wanna-
talking about.
No, no. But I want to know exactly what you think of it. It's,
Yeah.
I was surprised at the game that's in that game.
Yeah.
Not just a workout.
Yeah, I heard it's like
Yeah.
actually pretty funny and like pretty fun. So
That dragon is really creepy.
yeah.
Latex dragon.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yes.
What was his name again? I don't remember his name.
Isn't it?
Something weird.
Yeah. Well, like
It's
all the
something
names
with
are
dragon
weird,
in
right?
it. It's
yeah.
like a dragon. It just
Is Latex Dragon?
Buff dragon.
buff dragon.
You
Muscle
can't
dragon.
say
I
that
can't
now
remember
because
his
now I
name.
can't remember either. Hold on. He has a
Drag-
horrible name.
Gosh.
His name is.
It's something really on the nose.
Drago. His name
Yeah.
is Drago, but like
Drago.
Dragaux.
It's like a
That's
fake
it.
dragon.
Yeah, Drago. He's French.
He's French.
Drago. Drago.
But anyway,
What
it's
else you
time-
got, Casey?
It's time for a favorite game.
Huh?
Question block.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this one is from Eric Detman, who wrote into us on NVC at IGN.com. And it says, Dear NVC, thank you for the wonderful shows and happy Thanksgiving. I have a soon-to-be 6-year-old son, and he was really into games. His favorites are Mario Odyssey and Mario Maker on the Switch. With the holidays approaching, he keeps telling me he is into Pokemon and wants the new Pokemon game. I have never personally played a Pokemon game, and I'm nervous it might be too hard for him and he won't enjoy it. What are your thoughts on introducing kids to games that might be too challenging for them? And do you think Pokemon Sword and Shield could be fun for him? I just want him to enjoy it and don't care about him completing it. Thank you for your time and happy holidays to the entire IGN team.
very easy answer.
Thanks, Eric.
How good is his reading?
Yeah.
Because this is a game without voice acting, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to read a lot. So my kids played it really early on, but my daughter was also much better at reading than the boys.
That's usually the
and-
case. Yeah.
And like, if he reads well enough, or you think that it actually helps him with learning to read, absolutely. It's not so complex, and it's so smart how it teaches you how to play the game that I think he'll really, really like it.
Not an answer to the question, but I did forget to mention this when we were talking about Pokemon. I think it's whack that there's not voice acting. Like in the opening,
thing.
I know, but it's like especially like now that it's on console. Like in the opening thing, when the guy walks out into the stadium and he's like doing his spiel, it's like, wow, how much better would this be if there was voice acting? Like, but yeah, I think Pokemon is great for kids. Like you both started playing when you were really young, right?
Yeah. It's a little bit more complex now.
Yeah.
Like I started with Red, so it was definitely like night and day as far as like what the systems are. But I think you could probably stumble through it just fine. I also have no context for what a 6-year-old's like.
So
I have no idea.
Short. They're very
Remember
short.
that.
I got that.
Yeah.
Remember that a 6-year-old will just repeat the same thing over and over, and like there is he'll probably just level up even if he doesn't know the nuance of all the different systems.
That's what I was
no.
saying. It's like I think you could still get through it, and there are like
Yeah.
certain like just colors and things that indicate when you're doing better or not. As far as like for super effective and effective, like they're. Whenever you're battling a Pokemon you've already encountered, it tells you like
Right, what
moves are,
works,
like,
yeah.
good. So I think if that's something he's good with, then it'd be totally fine.
My son at age 6 was able to remember the most useless and great information, like long names of dinosaurs and early mammals and all that stuff. He just retained all of that information. And so if you sit down with him and walk through the chart and what Pokemon type is strong against what, I bet he will remember all of that stuff super fast.
You can honestly just get him a type chart and just give it to him.
There you go.
If he can read. Like, so I was 8 when I started playing Pokemon, and I didn't have a problem with it, but I was also a really strong reader. I was one of those kids who volunteered to read in class.
Shocking. This is shocking news to me.
But I think as long as he can read, it'll be fine. You don't really need to know in-depth stuff to succeed and beat the story game.
I hated reading when I was a kid.
Really?
And by the way, Eric, if not, then it sits around for 2 years, and then in 2 years you can play it.
Yeah.
Or you can play it.
Yeah. Oh.
I guess just what I was saying with me not liking reading, like I still got through this and enjoyed it. So maybe there's still something there for him.
And you can always...
Pear never learned to read, actually.
No, never.
No
there are also
DM,
some
no
game
reading.
stores that have really nice return policies if you buy it pre-owned. So a lot of game stores, you can buy it and keep it for 7 days. And then if you end up not being able to play it, you can just go bring it back.
That's fair.
Yep.
Too.
Yeah. And this one is from Vincent Elia. If they made a video game about your life, what genre of game would you want it to be?
What genre of game would you want?
Sadly,
it to
it'd be a management sim, and I don't want that.
I think our lives would need to change drastically to be a cool game.
It would be mine would be a turn-based strategy like Fire Emblem, but also you have the ability to rewind time and just fix things that you messed up.
Mine would be a Game & Watch game where I'm constantly preventing
Where you're only playing
animals
games
or
or watching
children from
something.
harm. Like, don't fall in the lava.
Yeah.
What about you, Casey?
What about you, Miranda?
That's hard. It's like I want my game to be cool, but right now it's just like, well, you could probably do an adventure game. That could be neat.
I mean, if I just wanted
Just
the
point and click.
easiest game where I wouldn't die and nothing bad would happen to me, I don't know, a nice happy-go-lucky otome game, which is just a dating sim
Sure.
and nothing bad happens. And in those games,
Everything works out.
everything is fine. And work is like over in 5 minutes because it's not important.
You just go to work.
You go to
All
work
about
and then
relationships.
all the other stuff happens. Sometimes you go to a fantasy world. Everything's
Perfect.
great.
Sometimes Shinsengumi are vampires too, and it's great.
Yeah, it's totally
They're
fine.
all hot.
just like in real life.
yeah,
There you go.
It's a good choice.
it's a really lame choice. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, it's great.
This one is from Sam Schumacher. I can never say your name right.
It's got to be Schumacher, right?
Schumacher?
It's a
You
German.
let us know how to say your name, and we'll get it right next time.
Shoemaker.
What is your favorite Switch game to bust out for the family to play together at Thanksgiving?
I actually play Minecraft. I used to play Minecraft with my siblings like every Christmas. We don't actually get together always for Thanksgiving, so we just watch movies usually.
For us, it's if the extended family, my wife's family is coming, my German family is too far away. But when they're coming to visit, it's always Dr. Mario. They like
Nice.
everybody loves Dr. Mario. We play that. We've played Mario Party in the past, and then without them, it's Smash for sure.
And we'll play fighting games.
Yeah.
My mom likes Mortal Kombat though, so
What?
Yeah.
Your mom's pretty hardcore.
You're a dark
she
family.
loves fighting games.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom has a very dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
She's intense.
My family doesn't really play games, but occasionally I do like to show them something that I think is really cool. Like the 2017 when Breath of the Wild came out, I showed them like, oh, here's all these crazy things that you can do in this game. Like, and they kind of smile and nod to that. Like, yeah, okay, great, good for you. Yeah, but yeah, they're not. My family's not super into games, so.
Casey, what
Yeah,
about you?
my family also isn't super into games. I remember my family when I would go. Sometimes my cousin from Louisiana would go, who's around my age, and we would play Twisted Metal.
No,
It's
yeah.
not-
That we used to.
Yeah.
Back in the
Like that's
days,
just
for
the only
sure.
game we had at that house, I guess.
Yeah.
But when the Wii came out, I got everyone to play Wii Sports, and now I don't really see my family for Thanksgiving that often, and they don't let. I'm not allowed to hide in a room and play games anymore, and no one wants to play with me. So
I might break out Puyo Tetris or Overcooked for the first time.
Puyo-
We
the
haven't
last
done that
time-
yet at all.
the last time I went and visited my family and actually brought out the Switch to play games with them, it was Puyo Puyo Tetris.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, we also did play for Christmas last year. We played Smash, and some of the children there asked to use my GameCube controllers, and I said no.
Oh, wow.
Also, like, I can't
That'll be
imagine.
a safe choice.
I can't imagine you being in a room of people and then being like, "Let's play Smash," and you're just like, "Okay, all right." Yeah.
Oh, Tricky Towers also. We're
Oh,
gonna
Tricky
have
Towers
to
is
play
good.
that. Yeah, that's a really good, just one more game that people love.
Yeah.
If you don't have that yet, it's Tetris with physics.
Yeah.
But if I'm with friends and we want to play something casual that isn't too competitive that everyone can play, we usually play Mario Party.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, Mario Party is always a good option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Nice.
This one is from James Defenderfer. He says, if every Nintendo character was at a Thanksgiving dinner, who would make it awkward and what did they say?
Luigi.
I was actually gonna say Wario.
I was gonna,
Really?
yeah, right?
Yeah,
mean,
I
he
feel
would
like
just
Wario's
be farting
probably-
and stealing stuff.
Yeah,
He'd be the W
he'd be like,
boys.
he'd eat the last roll, and then he'd probably say something like weird and racist. I don't know. Like
I would
he's,
say
yeah,
Tom Nook might also be kind of awkward, just like
Oh.
talking about the economy and stuff.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
getting really into like just
That's a
renting
good
laws
one.
and
Yeah.
stuff, and she's like, "Well, man,
He'll tell everybody how much dinner cost.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
And I think we have time for one more.
Let's do it.
This one is from Scott Burgess. He says, if you had to turn a Nintendo character into a dish for Thanksgiving, well, who would you choose?
Oh, I'd choose that weird bird from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Yeah, just roast him up like a little Cornish game
See, if
hen.
you open up to the Pokemon universe, like the obvious answer
I
would be
caught
Farfetch'd,
my
right?
bird. There
Look at
are
you.
several other of those weird birds out there that I could still cook.
They're so
There's
tiny.
only
Yeah,
there's,
like a little Cornish game hen. You just.
there's one Nintendo character that looks like food, and that's Kirby, obviously.
What does he look like? He looks like a big marshmallow.
Giant ice cream
I
ball.
feel like Kirby would taste awful."
Yeah.
No, he.
All that trash that he inhales all the
So
time.
much crap.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's like an eel. You know how
Like an
eels only eat the stuff from the bottom of the river.
Eels
I
are
don't
quite
like
delicious.
eels.
I
like
love
eel.
eel, but it does taste like garbage sometimes.
What?
So you
Y'all
think
are
that's
out
how
there
Kirby
eating
is?
eel?
You've never
Huh?
eaten eel?
I mean, like, I guess in sushi.
Yeah.
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 Like
Okay,
unagi
yeah, okay.
is good.
Yeah.
With the kabayaki sauce.
I'm scared of eels, and
But
I
it
don't
does
like
taste-
eating them.
Okay, they're mean.
One of them.
This
when I
great
was in the-
documentary, Little Mermaid, that really shows that clearly.
I was in the ocean and one like popped out at me and scared me.
Really?
I was like, I can't do this.
Was it like a moray eel or
I
like
don't-
a
it was just very big.
run-of-the-mill garbage-eating eel?
It was in shallow.
did we get here?
water.
Oh, sorry.
What happened?
Anyway, of the Nintendo characters I would eat, it's definitely not Kirby.
Really?
I don't have an answer.
I was
But you eat you talk about eating Pokemon.
But Kirby's like talks to you.
Okay. Slowpoke tails.
It's weird. But that's their tail.
Okay.
It's fine.
Do they grow back?
I don't know.
Let's just say for the sake of this podcast, yes. Sure.
They totally
Don't worry,
It's
children.
just their tails.
I think if we're going for Nintendo characters not in the Pokemon universe, I think I'd go with Yoshi. Because
Wow.
like,
Too gamey, I feel like.
yeah, well, like a gamey chicken, like alligator, right?
It's horrible. Yoshi has a personality. Kirby is just an idiot.
So do the animals that we eat every day.
Kirby has saved the world multiple times, my friend.
Bowser?
He's just said
How
hi.
would Bowser taste?
It's just like turtle soup. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be a delicacy.
He's huge. There's so much food.
King K. Rool. There we go. He's a bad guy and an animal that we already eat, and no taste
Why do
fine.
you hate alligators so much?
I don't. I like alligators.
Okay.
You can they're also okay to eat, and they're not endangered species anymore.
Okay.
As long as you keep the python population down in South Florida.
Florida people, I'm telling you.
This is the thing.
Weird.
It's come up multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised.
Yeah.
It's not usually this Florida heavy. I think it's just because we're talking about traditions, and you guys like to blame it on my Florida heritage.
Turnips.
That's right.
Yeah, turnips.
Turnips. What?
We hope you all have a really great Thanksgiving dinner, eating
Love
turnips
to you and all your
alligator,
turnips.
and maybe some pub subs.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Don't go down that road.
No, I won't. But hey,
Nobody is going to have turnips. You know this.
I'm making
Okay.
turnips.
Someone out there is also making turnips.
Yeah, my
Aaron.
family in Florida.
If you like turnips, write into us at nvc@ign.com.
Seriously, we need to hear from you if you eat turnips.
Yeah.
Please prove these people wrong that turnips are a real thing. Please validate me
For Thanksgiving.
for Thanksgiving
Right.
Okay.
or all year round because turnips
No,
is a
only for
wonderful-
No,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. I've eaten
That's what
turnips
the-
before.
Yeah, that's what the conversation is here.
Specifically for Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Yeah.
just for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They're great with gravy, like potatoes.
Okay.
Anyway, this has been Nintendo Voice Chat, not Nintendo.
I don't think it
gra-
was. I don't
gravy.
think this was
NTC, Nintendo Turnip Chat.
No, just
Keep going.
Turnip Voice Chat.
Yeah.
But I'm Casey DeGratis. You can find me on Twitter at ShinyKCD. Miranda, where can they find you?
You can find me at Havoc Rose, and that's Havoc with a K on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else.
What about you, Zach?
At Zacharias D on Twitter, and most weeks right here on NVC with You Fine People.
Yeah. And what about you?
If you can catch me, I'm traveling the world every week, but I am Per
Off
IGN on
gallivanting.
Twitter, and I try to join whenever you talk about Amiibo next.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I really wanted to have you on that week. We're
That's
very
okay.
sad.
I was in LA, not too far away.
No. But hey, thank you so much for watching. This has been Nintendo Voice Chat. You can catch us on your favorite podcasting platform or YouTube or IGN.com every Thursday at 3 p.m., except for this episode, which is going up early to, bring you into the holiday season and to help you with some Black Friday deals.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. And remember, this is the only place you can
Get
the
thing.
turnip.
Oh.